Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11, it's been shopping galore this week, and now the deals are continuing online. Plus, a Christmas tree farm in Alcona County believes in getting real trees to stick the presents under. And people can now see the holiday decorations and exhibits at one special museum in Rogers City. We'll have those stories plus your local weather and sports. WBKB News at 11 starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between, this is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. Your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
Plant officials from Panel Processing Inc. are pleased their extinguishing system worked exactly as designed after it helped extinguish a fire early Friday morning. Good evening, I'm Ashley Reed. Around 4:50 a.m., the Alpena City Fire Department responded to a report of a fire alarm activation at Panel Processing Inc. on North Industrial Highway. A small area of sawdust was smoldering outside the back of the plant under a roof overhang. The only heat source was an exhaust vent for an interior ceiling heat unit, which was likely the source of ignition. Heat buildup caused the sprinkler head under the roof overhang to rupture, extinguishing most of the fire. The rest of the smoldering sawdust was wet down with a hose line from the fire truck. No damage or injuries occurred. Plant officials restored water to the sprinkler system after fire operations were complete. This week has been full of sales and shopping, and it's still not over. Tomorrow is Cyber Monday, a day promoted by online retailers for exceptional bargains. The term was coined by Shop.org in 2005. Most stores have already announced their deals, and many deals began today. Alpena resident Chelsea Pagels says online shopping for her is convenient and allows her to find things she can't always find around town. And as for Cyber Monday shopping,
I'll probably look at the deals just because if there's anything good, and I like to go on Amazon, they have everything.
Amazon started their deals week today. Some deals are in limited supply and will go quickly, but the company says they will be adding new deals throughout the day all week long. Other stores promoting big deals include Walmart, eBay, and Toys R Us. According to IBM, last year online retailers had their biggest day ever on Cyber Monday as shoppers drove sales up 30% versus the same day the year before. Yesterday's shopping concept was a little different. It was a day dedicated to supporting small businesses across the country. The idea behind Small Business Saturday is when you shop small, you support all the things that make your community great. It was founded by American Express in 2010 and is celebrated the Saturday after Thanksgiving every year. Cobby Goose in Alpena is one of many businesses that was a part of Small Business Saturday.
A lot of small towns are working hard to bring people to their downtowns because they've gotten taken in by the big malls or the big shopping centers, and small businesses are the heart of many towns and their community.
Cobby Goose is a place to paint your own pottery, anything from ornaments to plates to piggy banks. It has been open now for about 6 months. Yesterday, Cobby Goose was full as people came in to support the small business and make gifts for the holidays. Gray says lots of people have commented about how they enjoy shopping small and making their gifts more personal. According to American Express, there was an estimated consumer spending of $5.5 billion last year on Small Business Saturday. Many generations of family members come back year and again to get their Christmas tree from Huron View Tree Farms. This year is no different as the farm has had a steady flow of customers. Huron View started selling Christmas trees in 1982. The farm has grown to also sell wreaths, garland, berries, and nursery stock. Families make it a tradition to come back every year and cut down their own Christmas trees. They can choose from Fraser fir, Douglas fir, Scotch pine, and blue spruce.
Yeah, I'm a traditionalist. An artificial Christmas tree I won't even look at. I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. It's probably made in China. You know, this is grown right here in Alcona County, and you know, it's natural. These are grown for what they're used for. It's, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you're cutting a poor tree down, but that's what they're grown for.
Employees say there are many positives that come with buying real trees. They can be recycled and used for mulch or placed outdoors. Artificial trees usually end up in landfills and aren't biodegradable. Suber says Huron View employs several people from the community, so money made stays in the community. Plus, he says many real trees have that fresh evergreen scent you can't get from an artificial tree. Santa and his elves have finished decorating the Bradley House at the Presque County Historical Museum. Christmas at the museum opened Friday night with Rogers City Parade of Lights. Yesterday there was a visit from Santa. The theme this year is the magical music of Christmas. Rooms throughout the entire Bradley House are decorated with different seasonal decorations and musical exhibits.
All in all, it's something that Rogers City should be very proud of. It's won numerous historical awards from the State Historical Society, and it's an excellent, excellent restoration of a 1914 home.
Every year, the Christmas decorations are different. Mayor Hall says if you thought you saw it last year, you'll have to come back because it doesn't look at all the same. He says the holiday exhibits at the museum give people an opportunity to get out and about and celebrate the holiday season. Well, coming up next on WBKB News at 11, another home in Detroit's Heidelberg project has been destroyed by fire, plus thousands of dollars for a bottle of whiskey. Find out how many of these celebration bottles are now available. Those stories and more after the break. Thanks for joining us tonight. In state news, firefighters battled another fire that engulfed another home in Detroit's Heidelberg project early Thanksgiving morning. Fire officials say the fire completely destroyed the War House, a home that stood right next to the Penny House, which was burned to the ground just last week. The Heidelberg's House of Soul was targeted November 12th and also burned to the ground. Officials say the fires are suspiciously too close to each other and are stepping up patrolling in the area. Artist Tyree Guyton created the Heidelberg project in 1986 as a way to use art to brighten the neighborhood. Today, the Heidelberg is one of Detroit's top tourist attractions. Officials say no serious crime was reported within a 2-block radius of the public art installation for over 26 years. In your Money Watch last week, stores were packed as shoppers took advantage of Black Friday deals, as well as early specials on Thanksgiving Day. Major retailers reported some of the big selling items included TVs, computer tablets, and gaming consoles. The National Retail Federation projects sales will increase 4% this holiday season versus 3.5% rise in 2012. Stocks closed mixed on Friday. The Dow lost a little ground, slipping 10, while the Nasdaq had a record-breaking day thanks to soaring tech stocks, gaining 15 and hitting a 13-year high. And are you interested in gifting a bottle of whiskey for the holidays? It'll cost you if you want to get your hands on Michter's Celebration Sour Mash Whiskey. Bottles cost $4,000 and there are only 300 available. They hit shelves in select restaurants and bars yesterday. For those of you in need to fill up that gas pump, GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan have put together state and local gas prices. The highest price for gas coming in Alpena is at $3.27. That's at Shell. The lowest is $3.24, and that's at Murphy USA, a tad bit lower than yesterday's prices. Across Michigan, the highest price is $3.69 in Romulus. The lowest price for gas is coming in at $2.93 in Clarkston. There's still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Jeff Cole will be in with a look at sports, and I'll be right back with your weather forecast. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It is time now for a look at the weather. Today the high was 34 degrees. Today our low was 31 degrees. The normal temperatures for December 1st, high 37, low 24. Our record high, however, was 59 degrees. That was back in 1970. And our record low, -2 degrees. That was back in 1936. Sunset this morning was at 7:53. Sunset again this afternoon was at 4:54. And going into our current conditions here in Alpena, currently the temperature is 29 degrees, but with northwest winds around 5 miles per hour, it really feels like 28 degrees outside. Taking a look at our satellite and radar, as you can see, not a whole lot going on. Some precipitation here over to our west, but for the most part, just cloud coverage over Alpena and all of Michigan for that matter. But taking a look tonight, it's going to be cloudy, 23 degrees for our low, north winds around 5 miles per hour. And going into tomorrow, mostly cloudy again, 33 degrees for our high, northwest winds around 5 miles per hour. And into tomorrow night, it's still staying cloudy, low of 25 degrees, calm winds becoming east winds after midnight around 5 miles per hour. And taking a look at our week ahead in our extended weather forecast, for Tuesday, it's going to be mostly cloudy, high of 35 degrees, low of 21 degrees. Wednesday, we'll have a chance of rain before noon, then a chance of rain and snow after that. We'll hit a high of 44 degrees on Wednesday. Thursday through Saturday, a slight chance of snow showers, and then we'll drop down to a high of 21 degrees Saturday and a low of 15. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Mary Bray of Alpena. Mary says this little raccoon was peering into a bedroom window on the second floor of her home. He climbed from a tree to the roof. Looks like the little guy thought the inside of your house looked a little more appealing than the cold outside. Thank you, Mary, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo you would like to send us, just email a photo along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com. In your Health Watch, women who test negative for the gene mutation that causes breast cancer in their family may still have a higher risk of getting the disease. That's according to a new study from the American Heart Association for Cancer Research. Previous research said women from families that have the BRCA2 mutation who test negative for the mutation have the same risk of getting breast cancer as all women in the general population. But new research suggests they are 4 times more likely to develop breast cancer. Steroid injections given to pregnant women ahead of premature delivery may increase a baby's risk of behavioral problems later on. Doctors often give steroids to mothers before they deliver early to help the baby's lungs develop. Researchers in London and Finland found the drug may increase the risk of disorders, including ADHD, but they say the immediate benefits of steroids on a baby's health outweigh possible long-term risks. And regular physical activity later in life boosts the likelihood of healthy aging up to 7 times. British researchers found even those who started exercising late in life saw significant health benefits. They were more than 3 times as likely to be healthy seniors compared to those who did nothing. And in national news, a commuter train derailed in the Bronx just north of Manhattan. 4 people were killed in the crash and more than 60 people injured. Some passengers were on their way back from Thanksgiving holiday weekend. CBS's Coem has the latest from the scene.
A 7-car Metro North train jumped the track Sunday morning, with the first car coming to a stop right at the water's edge. The derailment happened on a curved section of track in the Bronx, where the Harlem and Hudson rivers meet.
It started to make a loud shifting noise, like with the tracks, and the next thing I know, 2 people from across the train come flying at me and fell on top of me.
About 100 passengers were on board the train traveling from Poughkeepsie, New York to Grand Central Terminal. The bodies of 3 victims were found outside on the ground. A 4th was removed from inside the train. Police divers searched the water to make sure no one was thrown in from the force of the crash.
On a workday, fully occupied, it would have been a tremendous disaster.
More than 60 people were hurt. Several are critical. Ryan Kelly broke his left hand.
I got thrown across back and forth, and it came to like a halt, and there was just people screaming.
Fire crews used airbags to lift up portions of the train and free trapped passengers. They also cut away parts of the cars to get people out. The crash happened about a half-mile from another derailment over the summer. Officials are looking at speed as a possible factor.
We have not spoken to the conductor. We anticipate interviewing the train crews in the next day or 2.
A law enforcement source tells CBS News the train operator told first responders he applied the brakes, but they did not function.
The MTA says these were the first passenger fatalities in the railroad's history. Well, sports is coming up next, but first Jeff Kolb is here with a preview of what's ahead. Jeff, what do you have for us?
Well, there's some big-time youth baseball tournaments coming to Alpena this summer. I'll have the down low on that. And Daniel Alfredson returning to the place he called home for 17 years, how his night played out and more, straight ahead on WBKB News. Right now, our local baseball fields are covered with snow. But last month, one local baseball league getting the good word that its fields will be covered with tournament games this summer. In just its 2nd year of existence, the Alpena Huron Shores Baseball League has earned the bid to host a pair of Cal Ripken state tournaments. Last summer, the U9 and 11 Alpena All-Stars won state titles, while the U10 and 12 squads were runner-ups. After being evaluated on a variety of criteria, Alpena learned in November that it had been selected to host the 2014 U10 and 12 tournaments beginning July 11th, giving local teams home field advantage, just 2 steps removed from the Babe Ruth World Series.
We've retrofitted all of our fields, our major playing fields at the North Complex and out in Osneek. So that really played into the decision making by Babe Ruth.
They were really impressed with the community support and our fundraising ability when we sent teams to regionals, and then also just what Alpena has to offer for a vacationer standpoint.
The league hopes bringing the tournaments to Alpena will create a greater level of excitement about baseball than the area has seen in quite some time.
Not only does it provide a lot for Alpena, it gives these young athletes the opportunity to play in front of a home crowd for a very prestigious award.
I'm hoping to get a lot of kids excited about playing baseball. We already have a pretty big league, but this can only, grow excitement about it.
Most of the time, the ice at Northern Lights Arena plays host to fast skating, big hits, and lots of scoreboard watching. But that's not the case on Sunday nights when the Alpena General Hospital All-Stars face off. This year is the 30th for the AGH All-Star League. The season began in October and will run through March with games every Wednesday and Sunday. Although the league was exclusively for hospital employees when it started, today the league is co-ed and anyone is welcome to play, no matter what your skill level is or how old you are.
I'm probably the senior at age 71, and we're out here for the fun of it. There's no slap shots, no hitting, no checking, just for some exercise.
You will see some good competition, some fast skating, and you will see a lot of mistakes and pratfalls on the ice. But it all comes down to having a good time.
This afternoon, the Street Cats losing to the Ice Dogs 6-4. Alpena playing again with just 8 men. The Street Cats erasing 3 deficits as Andrei Yanovich earned the hat trick, but Michigan just bringing too much pressure, firing 47 shots on net. The loss runs Alpena's losing streak now to 5 games. The Cats will look to right the ship Friday at the Berkeley Bruins. The Red Wings in Ottawa and Senator fans welcoming back Daniel Alfredsson. His first time wearing a different jersey in front of them. First period, Johan Gustafsson guarding the net nicely. He finished the night with 30 saves. In the second, Johan Franzen sniping the goal top shelf, putting Detroit up 1-0. It was Thomas Tatar's birthday, but he does some gift giving. The great pass to Drew Miller for the goal. Wings leading 2-0. Ottawa would close the lead to 3-2 late in the third, but the Wings would seal the win. Take a listen.
Alfredsson, empty net, scores! Daniel Alfredsson seals the deal in Ottawa!
Quite the return for Alfredsson as he helps the Wings win this one, 4-2. This year's Pistons team is one of the youngest in the NBA, but Detroit feeling older than usual this afternoon with the youngest team in the league invading the Palace. The Pistons taking on the 76ers. First quarter, Thaddeus Young, money from downtown for 3 of his 24 points, Philly down by 5. The Pistons enjoying some transition offense here. Andre Drummond treating the basket like a Fisher-Price hoop. Detroit up by 7. Then, how about Rodney Stuckey right here? He takes the contact and hits the floater. He'd complete the 3-point play. Then, Andre with the tip-in here. He'd finish with a career-high 31 points and 19 boards. The Pistons scoring 70 in the first half, beating Philly 115-110. Finally, after completing an unbeaten Big Ten schedule yesterday, Michigan State is shifting its focus to Saturday's Big Ten title game against Ohio State. The unbeaten Buckeyes are ranked 2nd in the AP poll, while the Spartans are currently 10th. Last year, Michigan State lost to OSU 17-16 in East Lansing. A pair of Buckeyes were ejected yesterday in the win over Michigan, but head coach Urban Meyer says he has no plans of benching them further. MSU is set for a physical week of practice to try and stop one more offense and earn a trip to the Rose Bowl.
When you got a good quarterback, a guy that can run and pass like Braxton Miller, you need to be prepared. As hard as practice is this week, if we win that game, it doesn't matter. If we win that game, we won't remember the week of practice.
We're going to put all the chips on the table to try and go to the Rose Bowl. We've got a good football team. We've got a great crowd base that's going to travel to games, and hopefully we're attractive enough if we lose. Don't plan on losing.
So just going back to that Red Wings game, Ashley, quite the night for Daniel Alfredsson. You play somewhere for 17 seasons, and then you have to go back there and try and beat your old team, but he got that.
And they did it.
That goal, to seal the game.
And then the Pistons did it. The Street Cats, though, hopefully they'll get over this little losing streak they've been having going on because they started out really well, and now it's 5 games, right?
Yeah, 5 games in a row. They're faltering, but they had those players suspended over the weekend, so
hopefully we'll get them back in. Well, coming up next on WBKB News at 11, a true moment of love and holiday spirit is felt after you see this proposal. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, a dream come true for one woman as her boyfriend gave her the surprise of a lifetime. Alicia Hillard has the story from Ohio.
Sounds and scents of Christmas are everywhere in Wilmington at the city's Holidazzle Parade. Christmas is all about the spirit of giving, and one man was here to give his girlfriend the surprise of her life. As a group of girls started to dance, Ashley Taylor was in the crowd with no idea the flash mob was for her. Then a big reveal. The girls held up signs that read, "Will you marry me?" Ashley was led to her boyfriend, Josh Shanks.
I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, and I love you more than anything in the world. Ashley Taylor, will you marry me?
Of course, Ashley said yes. Josh has been planning the elaborate proposal for weeks.
You know, I've always told her, I was like, when I do it, it's going to be big, and she didn't believe me, and flash mobs are all the craze, so I figured, hey, if I can pull it off, then I might as well try.
And pull it off he did. Ashley couldn't have been more surprised, and she couldn't be happier.
They started playing all their songs. I'm like, that's my favorite song. That's my favorite song. And then they grabbed my hand after they spelled out, "Will you marry me?" I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening to me. It's a dream come true.
We're going to try this a little bit. I'm not sure.
Well, I think I had a smile on my face the entire time watching that story. What a great surprise, and what a great fun way to start the holiday season.
I think the thing that impressed me the most about that is everybody knows about that, and you still keep it
Oh,
silent.
he was so organized. He had all of her favorite songs picked out for the flash mob, and that's what she said. I kept hearing my favorite songs.
Yeah, well, that bodes well for that marriage.
It does.
And remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on more news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
That's it for tonight, but be sure to catch Kelsey Fabian back here in the morning on 11.3. We hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. Have a good night.